a video response to Jesusfreek 777 regarding his video, Catholic Lie to Muslims. I must say I find myself somewhat in the role, pardon the pun, of devil's advocate here. I don't have a particular stake in this theological idea, but one thing I do know is that you have totally misrepresented what the Catholic Church teaches on this issue, and you should really be ashamed of yourself for your poor scholarship, and indeed bearing false witness, which I presume is something that that should be very serious to you. And just let me take a moment here and say, looking at your video, you talk of people watering things down. You talk of people changing the text to suit their own purposes. Well, that's what you've done. And what really gets me is, look, you're entitled to espouse whatever kind of belief you want. You're not entitled to misrepresent what other people believe, however. So for a moment, I will leave aside the idea that you are, quote, out to bring about an understanding of what the true word is. And it must be nice to have that kind of confidence. So people have been trying to do that since before Jesus. All right, you say that okay, somebody sent you a link, and you don't remember who, and it doesn't really matter. What matters is that what you present to us on the basis of that is incorrect. You say, here is the paragraph in its entirety. Now, the implication there is that you're reading everything in context. Just because you read a paragraph doesn't mean you're reading everything in context. Which just further chips away at your pretense of having any special knowledge here. Now, when you quote your texts, the text you believe in, you don't stop with one sentence or one paragraph. I've noticed you do a fair amount of cross-checking. You say let's go to another paragraph for a clearer understanding, and so on, and you go through the Bible and points at which it seems to buttress itself, and that's fine. I mean, you can believe whatever you want to believe. It would be nice. It would be nice if you applied that level of scholarship, that level of honesty, to texts that are outside of your personal library. Okay, would that you had any scruples, you might apply that same standard, and I would like to think that you do. I'd like to think everybody does. I think that you're just in error on this issue, but not that I care. But I do care that you're misrepresenting what other people say. Okay, your source is a link someone sent you. All right. Well, what you quoted was not a quote in context. In other words, there's more than just that paragraph. And the Roman Catholic Church, by the way, in fact does not believe that a person will gain salvation, quote, simply by recognizing that God is our creator, close quote. You say it's very frightening that they teach that. They actually don't teach that. They probably should, in my opinion, but they don't. In fact, as one person puts it, this is an apologist site called Catholic Answers, www.catholic.com is one, and also the Baltimore Catechism has it in detail. I was raised as a Catholic. so I had some acquaintance with it. It simply says that it is the believing in a Creator is the beginning of grace, and that grace is part of the plan that can lead to people's salvation. You really need to check that stuff. You really do. Again, this is not what the Catholic Church teaches. Not that, personally, I don't have a stake in this theological question, as I say. But if you confine your opinions just to positive statements about what you believe, that's fine. I mean, nobody really minds, people expressing their opinions, putting it on YouTube and so on. I do that myself. But you really have a moral obligation to get your facts right. And I've seen you do a lot of this really sloppy kind of pseudo-journalism, and it's really not it's not helping your cause, or your cause is. Those of us who have any expertise in any area, I mean, we spend years studying these things, and even after studying them for years, we don't know everything. We don't claim to know everything. There is a humility, sometimes lacking, but sometimes there in academia, where people, there's peer review, there's people who don't understand. Nobody would ever say, I'm going to get to the absolute truth here of the true word and everything, but that's fine. Believe what you want to believe, but you owe an apology to all, to any dissension that's going on, and this is probably something that for you is a serious issue. If you are sowing dissension within what you consider to be the body of Christ, you're doing a disservice, and it's pretty repellent.